So, I was reading the news today and I noticed that the Brazilian president, Jair Bolsonaro, who has recently been tested positive for COVID-19, has begun to extol the virtues of hydroxychloroquine and has started treating himself with that. And that just kind of made me laugh, you know, like many other nut jobs in the world who promote such an untested and unproven cure. What are you thinking? But that made me think, well, maybe I'll do a Brazilian cocktail, another Brazilian cocktail, because that'll give me an opportunity to use my terrible Portuguese to say cheers, which is the same word as health, saúde, and so I've already said it. And so this is the cocktail I came up with. It's called the Rabo de Galo, which it translates as the rooster's tail, or more commonly it would be the cocktail. So it's kind of called what it is, and that should make life very easy for us. And I'm also quite pleased to make another Brazilian cocktail. I haven't been there very much, but I do remember I was there in 1991, and I can remember the exact day that I was definitely in Manaus in Brazil, sick as a dog. And so, you know, the two of us who've been traveling around South America had come from the Amazon and we were really sick, but there was a Formula One Grand Prix racing that day in Brazil, and notably it was won by the famous Brazilian Formula One driver Ayrton Senna. So that day went down in history. I may have spent a fair amount of it in the toilet, but hopefully we won't do that after making this cocktail. Unsurprisingly, for a Brazilian cocktail, it features cachaça, and I've got my Leblon here, and it takes 1.5 ounces of that, like so. And then 2 other drinks to go with it, and it's going to be kind of an earthy taste really when you think about it, because of what the next ingredient is, Cynar, and we're going to go 3/4 of an ounce of that, like so. And then the final ingredient is 3/4 of an ounce of sweet vermouth. And there we go. Now, one of the recipes I saw called for grapefruit, another one called for orange bitters. So I'm going to kind of, I don't have grapefruit bitters, so that kind of determines that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of orange bitters in and a little bit of regular Angostura aromatic bitters. I was going to use some black walnut or cardamom bitters because that sounded like it would be interesting, but hey, one step at a time, right? Maybe I'll find another cocktail for those. It just needs a little stir. I saw some cocktail bartenders that were throwing it from one cup to the other. I, unfortunately, am not that skilled. But we'll just stir that a bit. We don't need to stir it too much, mostly because it's going straight into a glass filled with ice. And I will pour that in there. Perfect amount of really nice looking colour there. And then the only garnish is a twist of citrus. You can use any citrus you like. I just happen to have some orange around, and given that I was using orange bitters as well, it seems kind of fitting. So squeeze it a bit so some of the oil comes out into the glass. You can put it in a pretty way. I'm not very good at making them look pretty, but let's see what we've got. Wow, that's good. Saúde.